Hello and welcome to Enchanted Babes, the show with D&D under the sea. I am NerdKicks, your DM, and I'm joined as always by my players Ashta, Alex, and Sun. And we are back on schedule 2 weeks later, which is very exciting. So let's just jump right into the recap. Y'all got arrested.
Whee!
I mean, detained, questioned,
And then arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in prison.
Well, two-thirds
well,
of the
two
party.
of you, 2/3 of the party, have been escorted to prison after Thauma was recognized by some guards, excuse me, in the court of Gen, which is the castle of the ruler of the kingdom. And Leo volunteered to go with. And then Elomi tried to volunteer to go with, but was denied.
I'm in a different type of prison.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie, Elomi partly got denied because the way that you asked was, "Can I come too?"
Yeah, no.
Your friends jumped off a bridge, would you go?
Yeah.
They're underwater. Would it matter?
So yeah, Thauma and Leo find themselves in the Fendon Annex, which I will throw up on screen right now. While they were there, Elomi, so we discovered that Elomi's sister, Vielna, is gravely ill, and so Brythrad needs to take over her position, and so Elomi has been summoned back to the castle, the court of Gen, to assume his duties in overseeing the military and trade operations and all that exciting stuff. And Elomi was immediately put in a library and spent like 6 hours reading. It was,
to be fair, that's what I do in real life.
Super exciting. And right where we ended, Elomi had found a book called, I wrote it down. No, I didn't. Maybe. Fendon Operational. I did write it down. Which has just information on how Fendon is run. Meanwhile,
including maps?
Maybe. We'll get there. Meanwhile, Thauma and Leo in the annex, Thauma discovered that they are in the room directly next to the person they've been looking for.
Ooh!
You found Kale!
To be fair, he wasn't lost. We knew where he was.
We knew where he was.
Well, now
apologies, my dog is being a little brat.
Oh no. I mean, wasn't the goal to be reunited anyway? And Leo discovered something under their bed.
Not Thauma for once.
That's a good... Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I found a loose flagstone that leads to a drop.
Yep.
Thauma's under their own bed.
I think you didn't look into the hole, you just found the hole and then closed it, right?
Yeah, I didn't have enough time to really investigate it because I'm still umming and ahhing about what to actually do about it.
Mm-hmm. And the guards pass every 15 minutes. That was another thing that we learned. So at this point, it has been several hours. I think it's like nighttime now. The torches, the glowing excuse me, coral like torches in the hall have dimmed a lot. There's still like a faint glow in the halls, but it's pretty dark. I forget, do both of you have dark vision? Does Leo have dark vision?
Leo does not have dark vision.
Or Leo. So you can make out shapes for sure. It's not like pitch black. And the guards are still passing, but it's actually closer to like every 30 minutes now. And Thauma, you hear, so you had heard a tapping on the wall, and you hear it kind of every once in a while. There's almost communication happening via taps on the walls, and then eventually you hear some not super rhythmic, just like a thud 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 on the wall that you share with Kale.
Yeah, and I was tapping back on it. Like we were.
This is later.
This is later. It's still.
It's been like time has passed. It's like
Okay.
nighttime, and there was a lot of silence, and now he's back.
So I will tap back in the same pattern. Or if I can try and figure out like if there's a meaning in it. If I don't know if there's like a Morse code thieves can't.
Fuck it, there is.
Is it Morse code thieves can't?
Basically, it's very rudimentary. You can't say like phrases. You can just kind of say like concepts like danger and, friend, foe, like very basic stuff.
Am I able to figure out what's being?
Yes, it is kind of just the concept of like anger.
And it's definitely coming from Kale's.
It's coming from Kale.
Is there a way to do sorry, not sorry?
There's definitely like a sassy response. You can sassy tap back.
Yeah, so that's basically what I do.
After a moment,
say that I'm not that sorry that I tried.
After a moment, you hear like a really light chuckle and then a heavy sigh.
Oh, that made me sad.
I'm able to work between the bricks at all with my fork to try and make a hole to talk through.
Make a I guess strength check. Like I don't know if it wouldn't be like I'm thinking like carpentry tools kind of check, but I guess let's just make it a strength check.
It's a fork. It's a fork. It's not carpentry tools.
It's cutlery
Concepts
tools.
are similar. It's cutlery tools.
Where's table manners on the chart? I haven't Marley marked that as.
I got a 7.
You got a 7. The wall is thick. You've definitely like gouged a small chunk, but
Yeah, like I'm going for the mortar between, not like the actual rock.
Oh, okay.
I know I'm not getting through solid rock with a fork.
You're starting to make like a bit of a slit in between the two bricks. It's not all the way through yet, but you're like working your way in there. What is Leo doing?
Well, now that the watch has dropped back to every 30 minutes, I am going to time it so that I can open the tunnel just as pretty much, not as soon as the guard leaves, but like pretty close to it, because obviously I don't want them to hear me doing it.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Okay. I'm not terrible at these, but I'm also not great. That's a 7. Far out Brussels sprout.
Say far out Brussels sprout.
Yes.
The bed kind of shifts to the side and squeaks as you are lifting the panel. And then that makes the panel kind of like slip and make a thud.
Okay.
It's not loud, but it is audible.
Okay. I'm going to sort of like lay on my bed and just sort of wait. Pretend to be asleep.
You don't have kelp ropes to tie you into bed. You fell off.
Does the guard come down?
About a moment later, you said you moved the bed back over?
Yeah.
Or you went? Okay.
Moved the bed back over.
A guard, you hear sort of some motion in the hallway as the guard comes back through. He looks in. Oh my god, you're gonna have to make a performance check.
Oh, damn it.
Or it can be deception. It can be deception.
They're the same roll. It's an 18.
18. Okay. Yeah, he like looks in and you manage to like sneak the teeniest peek just as he's turned away to look into the other cells, and he moves on.
I really wish I had message.
We can't use magic in here anyway.
Oh, that's true. Alright.
You're in a giant magic Faraday cage.
I'm gonna try again with the bed and the slab.
Okay. Make another stealth.
Yeah, don't think there's anything I can do that will assist me. It's a 13.
Okay. You kind of like shift the bed out of the way very carefully and make sure that you've got your hand kind of braced under it, and you manage to get it open. There's still a very light sound. It's not nearly as loud, but there's still a little bit of a sound, and you kind of pause and you wait a moment. You don't hear any reaction to the sound.
Okay. I can't see, so I'm just gonna drop down into the hole.
Okay. It is pitch black. And it feels very cool, very cold in here. That's about all your senses take in at the moment.
Can I gently, quietly move the stone slab back on top of me?
Ooh. Yes. Yes. I'll use the same stealth check as before.
All right.
It's pretty quiet.
And then I'm gonna swim down, and I'm just gonna sort of like use my arms and my tail to sort of like navigate downwards and see if it opens up anywhere.
Okay. You get like not very long. You kind of swim very slowly down, and then your tail brushes up against like a rocky floor.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of like do a 360 and see if there's any sort of like tunnels that branch off from there.
Okay, you feel let me check one thing. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. You feel like around the wall, you feel solid. You're doing a full loop even if you come across an opening?
Yeah, I want to sort of like really get a good layout of what I'm dealing with.
Okay, it's a sort of rough, it's not like a perfect circle, but it's a roughly round room, like very like tunnel tube with a single opening heading like a forwardish direction.
How much time has passed to go down and across? Because I want to sort of time it to be back within the watch time.
This would be like from opening the thing, getting in, shutting the thing, like 10 minutes, barely.
Okay.
You have to go slow.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going for another 5 minutes or so. Yeah.
Okay. As you are sort of very slowly making your way down this tunnel, your fingers like touch something soft, and then suddenly you feel cold metal near your neck.
Cold metal near my neck?
Like cold, sharp metal. And you hear like a second later you hear, "Don't move."
Well, wasn't planning to. The knife is very persuasive. G'day. The name's Leo. What's your name?
Where did you come from?
Oh, I came from upstairs. I got thrown into a cell, but lucky for me, there was this little route down, which I'm assuming you know about because you're in here too. Yeah. I was just, checking out my surroundings, checking out what.
Keep your voice down.
I was just checking out my surroundings.
After a moment, the blade moves away from you. Like it's not near you anymore. And he says, what does he say? Did you close it behind you?
Yeah, I closed it behind me just in case, they discovered I wasn't in the cell. I didn't want to give this away,
Oh, well, okay, you're not quite as stupid as you look. And you see a very, very dim light kind of appear in front of you, and there is someone holding a very dim, glowing orb.
Well, did you make this tunnel, or are you just making use of it?
I mean, I use it from time to time. How they put someone in that cell?
Yeah, they put me in that cell.
Shit.
Were you planning to use it for something specific?
Well, yeah. Did you just get put in here?
Yeah, like maybe a few hours ago.
Oh. Okay, well, did they have a message for me at all up there?
Did I see anything that might look like a message?
No.
No. Okay. I don't think so, mate. Nothing that I know of. So where does this tunnel go?
It goes back to lockup.
Ah, so it's like between the annex and lockup. Hey, is this like the
Yeah,
tunnel
I
that
mean-
connects to the kitchens?
The kitchens?
No? I thought there might be a tunnel
No.
that connects to the kitchens. Never mind then.
This, so it connects to lockup, and then it goes a couple other places, but there's not really an out.
Ah, I see. Alright, well, thanks so much for the information. I think I should get back before the watch passes through and notices that I'm God, but it's good to know that this doesn't have a way out. That was like my main question.
Okay, well, if you're going back up there, take this.
Alright.
And he hands you what seems like a small piece of parchment tied around like a dart kind of thing.
Alright, I'm gonna tuck it into like my seaweed wraps. I go, where should I take it to?
Deliver it upstairs.
To a guard or
new
to
here.
a prisoner?
Oh, definitely not a guard.
Well, I don't know. You're not telling me anything.
Just
I can
take it up there and deliver it to Kale and tell him Johnny's a little grumpy today.
I can do that. Alright. Thanks, mate. And then I'm gonna swim back up.
And be quiet for the love of everything.
Alright. I'm gonna swim back up.
Okay. Make another stealth check for getting back in the room.
10.
Okay. So you get in, and it's a little tricky because it goes from dark to like kind of dark, and just moving it's a little difficult, especially because you're trying to lift it. And there is a little bit of noise, but then again, you like wait a moment, and you don't seem to hear anything. And then after a couple of minutes, the guard passes by again.
I'm just gonna pretend to be asleep on my bed again.
Okay. And then a minute or two after the guard passes, you hear from out in the hall a psst, psst.
I'm gonna swim over to the door.
You see a face in the cell adjacent, the diagonal one, the one we've established as Kale. You don't know this person, but you see a face there. And in fact, I don't know if any of the interactions have revealed to you that it's Kale.
So
okay,
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
G'day, mate. What's your name? I'm Leo.
Kale.
I am going to throw the dart from my cell window through Kale's window.
Okay, make
assuming because I'm a monk that I can do this.
Yeah, do it with proficiency. Do it like as if you were throwing like a dart weapon, because that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be that kind of roll.
All right, let's see how I go.
What are the door windows like?
Like head like this big, and it's like bars. You could get a tentacle in between them. A hand could fit like maybe up to the base of the palm in between them.
That is a 23.
A 23. Yeah, it flies straight through the hall, like across the hall, and you see a tentacle kind of pop up and snatch it out of the air.
That was cool.
I'm just gonna sort of like give him a thumbs up and go, nice catch.
And then sort of sinks out of view.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna go back to bed, having discovered that the tunnel is a little bit of a dead end, and having passed on that message, and sort of like just, yeah, I'm gonna go back to bed and think about my options.
Okay. Thauma, are you gonna do anything else?
No, just keep working at chiseling at the mortar. So
Okay.
I have to go to bed.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you going to take a long rest?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. So as you settle in for the night, we're gonna jump over to the castle. Elomi has spent too long reading, and you have just pulled out Fendon operational, and you do in fact find, I feel like the other two should not look at Owlbear. I feel like Thauma and Leo should not look at Owlbear right now. I know Ashta kind of has to a little bit.
I can not look at it. I can pull a different window up and over it and just not look at the
Okay.
Twitch overlay. That's fine.
Okay, so hopefully it's kind of, we can, yeah, I mean, you can crop it properly first. So you do find in the book this blueprint.
Okay.
And I will say, after observing it for a while and based on the things you already read, this area up here is where you have already, where you visited before. So this area, this north mess is the room where you sang Kombuya for 10,000 hours. This is the kitchen where the other two had hushed conversation. This is the room where there was a statue. And yeah, so this is the room where you guys very cleverly put your name on the list.
True.
So you're welcome to take a look at that for a minute if you'd like.
So that tunnel, did that tunnel go from lockup to the north annex in Leo's
What
cell?
tunnel?
This is just for my frame of reference, not in character.
You don't know anything about a tunnel.
Yeah, okay.
And they don't know anything about this map, so. You know that the people you're looking for are in the annex, so you know that part.
And I know where the control room is now. Okay.
As it's getting later, as you're sort of studying this, you hear like a light knock.
I'm going to close the book and not really try to hide it, but just be nonchalant. Turning my head towards the door. Yes?
You see a guard entering. It is one of the two guards who was with you guys in the other room. This is the one that was a little bit more like sympathetic and was like kind of listening when Thauma was saying things about how things have been going. And he's just like awkwardly standing in the door or hovering in the doorway, like.
Are there other guards in the library, or are they just at the entrances?
He has closed the door behind him, and then you know that there's two guards outside the door, but it's just him. Or just one guard outside the door, but he's the only one in the room with you, in the library with you. It's not a huge library.
Okay. Would Elomi pick up on the vibes, though? I'm wondering.
Make an insight check.
5 plus 3 is 8.
8. Okay.
Which makes sense for Elomi.
He looks nervous. Looks like he wants to say something, but he's really nervous about it.
I'm gonna, is there like a seating area or like tables?
Yeah, there's a couple tables and chairs.
I'm gonna gesture to an empty seat and just be like, would you like to talk?
No, ma'am. And that's when you notice he has a large bag behind his back.
I'm gonna look at the bag and look at him and sort of be like, you want to set your stuff down at least?
Yep. And he sort of like swims over and plops it on the floor next to you on the other side of you from the door. And then goes back towards the door and just says, good night, and like opens the door to go out.
Dismissed or whatever, I guess. As soon as the door is closed, Elomi's gonna put the book on the table and start rifling through the bag because they're so curious. They're so curious.
It appears to be all of your friends' weapons.
Oh my god. That is so nice. I'm gonna have to figure out a way.
And a couple of additional items. It's not all of their stuff somehow, but it's all of their weapons, all of, yeah, let's see what else y'all have. Some clothes. Y'all don't have a whole lot of stuff. Some food. Torch. A diamond. I don't know why you have diamond, but you do.
I think we retconned that really early on as something the tentacle stalled because we didn't realize that the one spell I have required a diamond.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Got it.
It's the only thing of like actual worth the Collectical has ever taken.
There's also a
Fanciest thing.
crowbar and a hammer, whatever the fuck a python is.
They are. I don't know if they'd be useful underwater, really, because they're meant for like rock climbing.
Oh,
They're like metal spikes to help.
nice. Yeah, so it's a bag of weapons.
Right. There's a 100% chance of this stuff getting taken away again if I just come out of the library with a huge bag of swag.
Nothing is 100% chance.
I think I can play this off. I can be cool, confident, and assured
Okay.
in character. All right. Is it like an ordinary knapsack, or is it just sort of like a picnic blanket that's been bendel stick together?
That. It's like
Okay.
it's like a blanket that's been like tied haphazardly into a kind of a bag.
Okay. Then at the small opening at the top, I'm gonna shove in a few of the books that were on my list.
Okay.
And I'm going to haul it off. I'm gonna open up the door and be like, I think it's time that I retire for the evening. Where am I sleeping?
The guard turns and says, "Yes, of course," and leads you down a hallway. It's starting off heading towards the direction of where your sister's room is, but then it kind of branches to another hallway, and you're led to a very beautiful bedroom with a very comfy bed. There's a desk in the corner. There's like a whole wardrobe.
Nice. Thank you so much for escorting me.
He kind of gives you a nod and then closes the door.
Elomi's gonna just sort of like, oh. Seb, this has been a fucking day, hasn't it? But Seb is just asleep in Elomi's hair because they've been studying for too long.
You have a small crab sleeping in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Are you heading to bed? It's pretty late now.
I'm gonna see if there's like a wardrobe or a hope chest or something that I can put the bundle into until I can more properly organize it for carrying nondescriptly tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, there is a large wardrobe that has it's like a few things in it. It's not like, full of clothes, but it's definitely got like some nightgowns, some dresses and clothes and shirts and crap. A medium amount of clothing. And the stuff would fit neatly in there.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put the bag in there and set aside what I assume to be. I assume that there's like decorative pillows, so I'm gonna put Seb on a little decorative pillow and
Nice.
put on a nightgown and throw myself in bed.
Okay. Yeah, there's a red and gold pillow set that matching on the bed, and there's like it's called a chaise, right? A chaise lounge, like it's like a couch bed thing.
Yeah, it's like one of those that you're supposed to lounge on, like an old fashioned.
There's one of those. So you're able to get like a little pillow and set him on it and go to sleep. At which point, all three of you get a long rest. Which I don't think a whole lot has happened to your hit points and whatnot. Cutting back over to the prison. It is morning, and you are awoken by lots of like shuffling and some clanging. And you can, like, if you look out the door window, you see kind of some hustle and bustle in the main. Actually, I'll cut back over to the annex. Okay, Owlbear is on the annex now. There's kind of some like hustle and bustle happening in the center area, which you can kind of like get just a peek of if you look, and people seem to be setting up like bowls of food. This seems to be like a breakfast thing happening.
Does it look like they let us out for meals, or do they keep us in the
There aren't any like
cells?
tables being set up. They're just, people are preparing bowls to like each one person to a bowl of food, or like a tray of food or whatever. And then after a little bit, people are coming down the halls. Both of you make a perception check.
$19.
Both of you notice some sort of familiar faces. You recognize some of the inmates from that day you visited the prison.
I'm gonna ask, excuse me, is this vegetarian?
The nearest guard kind of looks in and says, probably.
Okay, thanks, mate. I was just gonna take that on face value.
Okay, cool. After a little while, people start filing down the hall, and a person comes to each door, and the bars like shift out of the way, and a bowl is handed in to each of you. It's like a greenish gray goopy, like cliche prison food.
I'm probably hungry, so I'm gonna stick my snout in it and just start eating.
And then as you start eating, they're like filing back past, and Leo, you hear like a hey, and you see the face of your buddy Brand in the little door window.
My snout comes out of the bowl, just like covered in food. I quickly wipe some of it off, but it just kind of smears it across my snout. I'm gonna go. G'day, Brand. How you going?
How you going?
I mean, I've been better, but this ain't bad.
How did you get in here?
Let's just say that the previous me you saw upstairs was like a bit of a ruse, bit of a lark, bit of a joke. Yeah.
How did you get out there? What the hell's going on?
That's a really good question. It's a very long story, but let's just say I've made some friends, and those friends were wanted for some crimes, which are totally unjust, but here we are.
You friends with these guys?
I mean, yeah, I'm friends with Thauma. They're over in one of those cells over there.
Okay. I should probably go.
Yeah, I might see you around.
Well, I know where you're at, so.
I mean, I'm not planning on staying here long term, but
You're weird. I like you. And then he swims away.
as he swims away, I'm just gonna say, "Are you taking good care of the gargoyle flesh?"
He looks back
Actually,
at
no, I
you.
rephrase that. I say, "Are you taking good care of the meat that I gave you?"
He looks back at you, confused, and then he reaches in his pocket and he pulls it out.
Just gonna
And he
like
winks at
kind of
you.
like stick two hands like out of the bars and just go like this.
He kind of shakes his head, slightly confused but very amused, and he's then starts being ushered away by the guards.
I'm just gonna smile to myself and then go back to eating.
Thauma
Thauma.
very reluctantly eats it.
Okay.
Not the worst thing they've ever eaten.
I mean, honestly, you've eaten some pretty awful shit at the orphanage. This is
Yeah.
kind of on par. It's kind of mediocre, a little too salty.
When there's nobody like in the hallway, like after, like between the shifts, can I check out the bars and see like if there's like a sliding mechanism or something? Or
Yeah,
if
make
it was...
an investigation check.
20. Dirty 20.
Okay. You are able to like kind of feel up in the crevice. They do have like a mechanism, and then by you like sticking one of your tentacles out and kind of feeling around, there is a keyhole on the outside underneath that seems connected to the mechanism.
Good to know. Just gonna store that.
Cool.
Did all of the bars go? Or
Yeah,
just
they all
enough for like a
slid.
tray?
It basically slid all the way to the edge of the window, so like you could stick your head through it when it was open. It was a sizable hole that can. Hello, motorcycle.
I'm sorry, there's some jackass in my neighborhood.
That's totally fine.
I have not been able to sleep in for the last 2 weeks.
Oh
no.
But yeah, so the bars do slide all the way out, and like they don't like disappear, but they just kind of stack up next to each other.
Is it a big enough hole that I would be able to fit through?
You are size medium, but can be considered size small, right?
Mm-hmm. I can fit into size small, or fit through.
How big is a size small?
Don't ask the women's fashion industry. There's no.
5 by 5 is small? No, you're full of shit. Maybe. Definitely not without some bruising. This chart doesn't make any sense.
D&D Beyond says small is between 2 and 4 feet tall.
Okay. You're skeptical, but there's some hope.
Skeptical tentacle.
Skeptical, kleptical.
Skeptical, kleptical!
If we try it, we'll be the kleptical trying to get out. That is the lockpicking kleptical.
Of course it is.
My
hot pad fell.
Can I see Leo, like, through their hole at all?
Leo is probably being quite obnoxious and just sort of like wandering around, humming, and just sort of like, yeah, being bored.
Yeah, you could definitely catch glimpses.
Can I try and throw, like, just a piece of, like, junk from my clam
Yeah.
shell at them?
Take
just, like, get their attention.
a dexterity.
Natural 20. Gonna get a nat 20 on.
You
So 25.
throw it, and it like perfectly goes between the bars and bonks them directly on the top of the skull.
Does it look familiar? Like, does it look like something I've seen?
It's probably just like a small piece of sea glass. Because
Yeah, it's a
that's.
small piece of sea glass.
Shiny. I'm gonna go over to the window and wave at Thauma.
Does it seem like there's chatter at all between.
There is occasional chatter, only when the guard is not walking past.
Is there a guard nearby?
There is a guard heading down right now to do a little swim through.
Good. Just like go like that, just real quick, and then just like back up from the.
Okay. So he does his little swim through, and he goes back, and then
I
you
go
hear
back to
some
the-
very minor chatter pick up again.
I'll go back to the door, and Leo,
Yeah?
doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. Kind of boring in here though. Wish I had a book.
Yeah, I guess there's no prison library.
So, I sort of like point to the Scylla across me and go, "It's your brother?"
More or less.
At which point, Kale's face appears, and he goes, "You talking shit?"
Of course.
I would expect no less.
Ah.
Which you can't see him. You can just because you're parallel to him.
Can I stick a tentacle? The kleptical goes out and just like waves.
You see another tentacle appear and wave back. Tentacle you haven't seen for a while.
So, what do we want to do? It's really quite boring in here. I was hoping that maybe we got some sort of like work assignments that they were talking about. Hey, Kale, when do we get work assignments?
About once, not very often.
That's annoying.
They kind of don't want us like interacting a whole lot. Every once in a while, they'll have us go break rocks. But I think that's just because somebody read in a book that you're supposed to have prisoners break rocks, so it's just really more for show.
Do they ever let us out at all? Like an hour a day?
About once a week when they
Exercise?
gotta like clean out the cells.
Is that coming up at all?
I think it's tomorrow.
How serendipitous.
So, are we like staying here? What's the
My
thought?
plan was to stay here knowing that Thauma got away and was gonna have a good life. Thauma seems to have fucked up my plan, but that's about par for the course with them.
If that was
Yeah,
your
yeah.
plan, why did you tell them where you were?
What?
He didn't.
I didn't tell them where I was.
It was Hydrus.
Okay.
I just wrote Fendon.
She
I
did
just saw
what
this.
now? Bitch did. Are you? This is her fault? And
No.
his voice gets a little raised, and you hear the other inmates kind of just be like, "Shh."
Kale,
That was loud. I'm sorry.
Kale, it's fine. I sought her out. She actually helped a lot.
How? How did she help? She got you here.
No, I got me here. We had another plan. It did not work.
What was your plan?
We were gonna break you. Just to make sure there's no guard around before actually saying that. Is there a guard nearby?
No.
We have. Okay. We were gonna try and get in and out. with you.
And
Good fucking plan.
we got in. So technically,
And we got out.
50% of the plan has been accomplished.
And last time we got in and out.
You got in before?
Yeah, but we
Yep.
didn't make it this far. They wouldn't let us into the annex. We came in as like visitors. But you know,
One of ours sang a really annoying song for like an hour straight.
Oh my god, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Dude, the guys bringing the food that day were pissed.
Yeah, that was our first attempt. But they're still on the outside.
Who?
And
yeah,
our friend who was singing.
we have an ally on the outside.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, can we communicate with them?
I mean, potentially. I mean, if we can get like notes through this. I mean,
If somebody's willing to go to the court.
yeah, our friend's
Report
kind
again?
of a big deal.
Your friend's a big. Who's your friend's a big deal?
Our friend might be like third in line to the throne.
Soon to be second.
Thauma, you don't see or hear anything. Leo, he's just like, excuse me, what now? Like,
Our friend's kind of a big deal. So I guess we kind of got like a decision to make. Do we wait until we get like news from them, or do we like try and get out? I'm pretty competent in like fist to fist
I wanna
combat, but that
Wait.
seems to like.
I am not. I am kind of stifled in here, and I don't have my crossbow.
Do the guards have weapons on them? And if so, what sort?
it varies from guard to guard. You've seen lots of swords, a couple of short swords, not a ton of ranged weapons, but a few.
I mean, I can make a pokey thing with a fork, but that's about it. But I think maybe waiting to see if we hear from Elomi or if we can get a letter out.
Yeah, it's probably a smart plan, hey?
'Cause I don't think they'll let us rot in here.
Well, they seem pretty intent on it.
Ooh,
I haven't been out since I got in.
well, no.
Oh, you meant your
Elomi-
friend?
Yeah. I don't think our
Misunderstood.
friend.
That's fine.
I don't think our friend will let us rot in here.
Yeah, I think we need to like trust the process, but really could do with a book. I've basically had that Kombuya song stuck in my head on a frickin' loop.
Yeah, so have we, because the guys who came in with lunch sang it, and then he's like raising his voice again, and it kind of catches himself. I don't know if I want to meet this friend of yours. I don't know.
They're not normally like that. It was a distraction so that we
Yeah.
could get some information. You really think I would willingly spend time with somebody like that?
I don't know. Yeah, I do know.
Oh, I have something of yours. Leo, if I toss something, can you toss it across?
Yeah, I reckon.
I'm gonna toss Kale's bead.
Okay, dexterity throw. Check.
16?
Okay,
I basically like push my face against the bars and sort of like reach a hand out as far as I can get.
so your whole arm won't be able to go through, but you'll be able to like get your hand kind of partway through.
Yeah.
I lob it with a
Um,
tentacle.
and sort of like just grasp it in my fingers because I'm pretty good at catching
Okay, yeah,
stuff.
I'd say you're able to catch that. And then Leo, make a dexterity, but you get to do, like, you're throwing a dart. So you get proficiency and whatnot.
Cool. That is an 11. That's bad. I'm hoping Kale can catch it with his tentacles.
Oof. He rolled a 19. So you throw, and it looks like it's gonna go short, and like Kale in the air, in the water, on its way. Kale looks like sees it, and his eyes go wide. And then
Just
he
like this
notices
slow-mo
it's gonna
moment
go
of me
short, and his tentacle like shoots out and grabs it and comes back in.
Nice save.
And he looks at it and just starts laughing. Oh, Thauma.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't know how Elomi's gonna go about trying to get us out, so I guess we should be like prepared for any scenario.
Yeah, because I remember them saying it could take a while. I mean, I don't want to sit in here for too long, so we should have a backup plan. In case it does take length of their training.
And then we
What?
roleplay 6 months of sitting in prison and reading books. Yay!
Can we do a time jump if that happens?
One day at a time.
Feel real immersive.
All right, so on that note, I think now might be a good time to take a break, and then we'll cut back to Elomi.
All right.
Sounds
So
good.
we'll take a
works.
10-minute break. We'll be back soon, y'all.
Back in 10. And we're back. So, cutting back to Elomi. Elomi is sleeping in a ever so slightly more comfortable bed than our prisoner friends. You pretty early in the morning, you hear a knock at the door.
Elomi's going to sort of like do the slapping of the face to wake oneself up thing. And then stand up and say, "Come in."
You
Business face
hear
on.
what?
Business face on.
Okay. You hear, are you decent?
Yes.
Okay. The door opens and Brightthread comes in.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Good. So it's time that we get started, but unfortunately we have several things to tend to today. Did you start reading
Yes.
all of the books?
I started reading one of the books for 6 hours. Or did you mean like I should get started by reading a little bit of each book at a time?
Which book did you read?
I don't remember which one we did before Fendon operational.
It was
about history.
yeah.
History of Genbor or something.
I think it
Yeah.
was a history of the operations of Genbor.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can easily tell him this, whatever title I said last time. He goes, "Oh, that's definitely a good place to start." How far did you get?
I think you said like a good chunk of the way through the book, but not halfway. So I'm thinking like a third.
Probably about that. He was a third. Well, all right. You should probably make yourself presentable. The blue uniform today.
Blue uniform. Okay. Is that it? Am I free to change now?
Yeah, he just kind of waves his hand and leaves.
Lemmy's gonna roll their eyes and go to the wardrobe to put on the blue uniform.
Okay.
Do I have a more formal, like, knapsack that I can use? Or is that not common among personnel?
It's pretty small, but there is like kind of a nice bag in the wardrobe.
Hmm.
It's like those cute little like Loungefly backpacks. It's like that size.
Oh,
Leo's staff of striking will not fit in that bag.
absolutely not. But I think that Thauma operates more on weapons anyway. Would it fit the crossbow?
No.
Yeah,
You could
I
probably
imagine.
fit a couple daggers in it though.
I'll do that for sure.
Um,
What was in the bag again? We had
some torches. There's rope.
weapons,
No, the rope is
clothes,
not in there.
torch,
Sorry.
mining gear. The casting diamond, that'll be important.
Definitely the daggers. The hammer would fit.
Hammer would fit. Sure, I'll put a hammer in there.
It's getting pretty heavy.
I mean, you have seen Leo fight. They don't really need anything.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's it. Unless if I want to. There's no way it would be that simple.
What?
What's the over under on me being able to create a secret cutaway into a book? You know, like cut out the middle section of the pages to stick an object in a book.
What do you mean by
And then
over under?
The
Like, what would they have
over
to
under
roll?
would be like, what's the chances of it being successful in the creation of that hidey hole?
In the 5 minutes he's expecting you to get dressed? Not likely.
Not happening. Okay. We'll keep that in mind for later, though. I will stick the copy of Fendon Operational in the bag, though, and take that with me.
Okay. As you finish up, do you head into the hallway?
Yes.
Okay. He is waiting in the hall, talking quietly with a guard. There are 2 guards in the hall. One of them is the guy you saw last night.
Oh. I'm going to do my best not to point him out and just sort of like wave hi because I don't want to interrupt any important conversations.
Okay. He doesn't really look at you or acknowledge you.
Yeah, all right.
He's just kind of at attention.
Uh,
But make a perception check.
rolled a 14. What's on that? 5. 19.
He like kind of gives you like a side glance every once in a while. He's trying to be subtle about it and it's just like
Yeah.
looking at you every once in a while.
Is there like an aide nearby that works under Braithred that I can ask if we have time for breakfast?
It's Brythred, the guard that he is talking to, and then the guy that you saw last night. That's it. It's the only people in the hall right now.
Do we have time for breakfast before we have our duties, or?
Oh, of course. And Brythred like hands you basically a sandwich.
Awesome.
Says, we are eating while we go. And him and the guy he was talking to start swimming away, and then the other guard sort of starts like trying to lead you in between them.
Okay.
They lead you into a room adjacent to the throne room. You're in like that same hallway where a couple other people are waiting, and there's just like some conversation going. There's like books out, there's a map, there's just like discussion, and Brythred enters in and kind of gestures for you to follow him in or whatever.
I will be doing so, taking bites of my sandwich as we are going.
And he says, okay, so we have so many things. We have a lot of things to do. Where would you like to start? Do you want to pick where to start?
Do we have is there like things that I can pick from, or is there really just no itinerary?
Well, we need to visit the ironworkers because there's some sort of kerfuffle happening there. We need to visit the soldier barracks because there are some new orders we need to bring down. There is a small amount of business in Fendon, but I took care of most of that the other day. We need to continue training the new recruits. We need to set up a new account. He just like keeps going on. There's like so many things that he's listing.
Elomi's thinking, oh my god, I have to save our sister. That's not going to be my life. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Why don't we start with the ironworkers?
All right. You heard her. We're going to the ironworkers. And you leave the court of Gen, and he leads you, or you and a couple of people, sort of like an escort of people, travel to the District of Farm and Industry, which is on the western side of the city. And mostly you're just watching as he is like discussing with like the leaders of different like groups and businesses, like just like trade and supply, and it's really fucking boring. And there are now like 4 or 5 people with you. The guy that you met last night is also there still.
Okay.
Brythrad is like occupied. He's just having conversations.
Me and the guard that was kind enough to leave a bag, are we a little bit separate from the others since Brythred's taking charge on?
You could probably like discreetly slip slightly away.
Yeah. I'd like to slip slightly away and ask quietly, just, hey, what's your name?
Me?
Yes, you, friend.
Wei?
Wei?
Well, my friends call me Wei. And you said friend, so I figured you'd call me Wei. But my name's Waylon. Sir, ma'am.
Elomi is fine. Thank you.
Elomi.
Thank you, Wei.
Elomi. Yeah.
Pardon me for asking, but why the difference in opinion from the other guards?
What? What are you talking about?
Dropping off my friends.
I don't have any opinions.
Why drop off my friend's things? I guess is the question.
don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
I absolutely would never, ever interfere with evidence and storage of contraband or whatever. That is not that is illegal.
Absolutely.
No
And
matter how much I felt like maybe they would be better served in someone's hands than in a box.
I love him so
would
much.
never do.
Elomi picks up the vibes. I see. I would never ever be deeply appreciative of someone who would go against protocol like that.
That would be awful.
Absolutely.
But also, yeah, nothing. No.
No, something on your mind?
Well, I mean, like, they had other shit, but it was gone already.
What, like it was confiscated already?
I don't know. It wasn't in the box I put it in.
Huh. I wonder.
It's gone.
At least my money wasn't part of it.
Yeah. Silver linings and whatnot.
And copper and gold and probably some platinum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all my money's with Hydras.
Well, that's definitely something to bring me to the attention of my brother when this is all over.
You're gonna tell? No, I don't tell.
No, not you. Not you. I imagine that it's not specific only to this box. I imagine that other boxes were skimmed.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I don't think that's very disciplined.
Probably not.
Yeah?
What's the right answer here?
You don't necessarily have to answer every single thing that someone says.
Okay.
Smile and nod,
That's it.
boys. Smile and nod.
Smile and nod, boy. It'll be okay, Way. It's okay.
Okay. Thanks.
I am curious about one thing, and I could read about this, so feel free to just tell me to go look it up in a book. Do you know how the control room works in Fendon?
The control room?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's just a big ass crystal.
Huh.
And like 6 dudes around it. It's really fucking shiny.
Oh, I thought it'd be more complicated than that.
I mean, the 6 dudes are kind of doing a lot. Probably, I don't really fuck with magic. But I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I don't partake in magical. I don't do that. Sorry. Oh man, I'm not usually on a detail that's important. I don't. Really know.
I wonder if this is going to go over Way's head. Hey, mind your fucking language.
Sorry. Wait. Yes, sir, ma'am.
That was a joke. That was a joke, Way, and I like pat his arm a little bit.
Oh, because you said fuck.
Yes.
Oh, I get it.
This man must be protected at all costs.
Yes, there's a friend.
Himbo energy. I love it.
Big Kronk vibes.
Absolutely. Is there any time that the prisoners are let out of their cells? Like during the week, you think?
In the annex?
In the annex.
Like once a week, I think. They go like smash boulders. I don't really understand the point of it. It just
They really just gonna smash boulders in a corner?
I mean, yeah.
Kind of fucking weird.
I mean, we do use those rocks to build stuff, but like,
Yeah, I suppose. When's the next time they do that?
it's and it's yesterday, last tomorrow, tomorrow,
Oh,
tomorrow, probably. I think.
I'll take that bet.
I don't have any money, yo.
I
This job pays
not
very well.
I I believe you, Way. Not a gamble.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Hmm. Is there any time that the 6 guards are away from the control crystal, or is there a switching of the guard?
I only saw it one time.
Only once?
Yeah, I kind of just went in the room to drop off some stuff because that's also where they keep. Well, it's near where they keep the stuff they like confiscate from visitors,
Uh-huh.
and so I was just carrying. I just saw the 6 dudes and the shiny. It was so fucking shiny. But like, I don't know. Make a history check, Elomi.
History check. Be kind to me, die, be kind. No! 7? It has to be someone's lucky number today, might as well.
You know that there is a chapter about the control room in Fendon Operational.
Looks like I'll be
You
studying
haven't read it
tonight again.
So at this point, it's been a while, and Brightthread kind of finishes up his conversation and comes back over, doesn't even look at Waylon, and comes and says, "So, did you get all of that? Did you kind of figure out how this conversation comes up a lot with the ironworkers, and the woodworkers and the stoneworkers. A lot of people, this issue comes up a lot, and so it's really important to have the ins and outs of that conversation. Did you take notes?
Absolutely.
Make a deception check.
Shit.
Because you absolutely did not take notes. You were having a conversation.
I rolled a natural 20.
Whoa.
He is impressed. Like, oh, well, maybe you'll do okay. All right, we did that. What task should we do next?
The other things that you mentioned were training new recruits and giving new instructions to the soldiers of the hall, I think.
Fendon was also on there, but I don't know if you want to do that yet or not.
I was gonna wait for that for tomorrow when there's
That's fair.
y'all are breaking rocks and
That makes way more sense.
Yeah, so I mean, he says, yep, those are both things.
then let's go give instruction to the soldiers first, and then we can go and I can see how recruits are trained.
Fantastic. And you leave. We're gonna cut back to the prison. Elomi, if you're gonna spend the day like just doing those tasks, I think we'll kind of jump through them quickly rather than dwelling on them. If there's anything you want to like stop and have a conversation with anyone or do anything in between, you let me know when we jump back to you, okay?
I think I got all the information that I really wanted from Way.
Okay. So we're gonna cut back over to the annex. The map. Okay, I'm gonna move my chair. It's gonna be loud. Well, that wasn't too bad. So it's pretty friggin' boring. Like,
Thomas just working away at the wall
make
as much as they can.
a stealth check and a perception check just to make sure you can like continue to not get caught doing this.
Leo will probably be humming kombuya to sort of just like add to the
19
noise and
for stealth.
hopefully cover
Nice.
Homer's noise.
19 for stealth.
But perception is only a 3.
Okay. The guard almost takes you by surprise a couple times, but you manage to kind of like hear it at the last moment and stop what you're doing. And then what did I make you roll? Did I make you roll to just dexterity to go through it?
I think it was just strength to work
Oh yeah,
on.
strength. Okay.
I make no progress. That was a 1.
Ooh, yeah, your arm starts getting really sore, and the fork ends up like getting bent to the point where it's kind of not really effective, and you might have to bust out another fork. If only you had like 10 of them. So, do you have a number of forks listed?
What does my
I want to
list
say it
say?
said 10.
It said at least.
At least
I
10?
don't have a specific number.
Okay, well, one of
I
them
do
is
remember
now
that.
mangled. So
BRB, rolling a d12 to figure out how many extra forks we have.
Yeah, I have at least 10 forks.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Kale will probably try to strike up a conversation with Leo.
Okay.
He might just try to catch you and like, hey.
Yeah. What's up, dude?
You having fun in that cell over there? Is it a good cell?
I mean, it's all right. It's a little drafty. Let me see if
Yeah, it
he
gets kind of
catches
cold,
my drift.
right? Gets kind of cold, especially like on the floor.
Yeah. This whole place is a bit on the cold side, but that the floor sort of like, especially like around the bed area, which is why I wanted to move it, because just make myself a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, it's a little drafty.
Yeah. It's good cell though. And every once in a while we get to like swap around, play musical cells and
So the guards will move us from time to time?
yeah, pretty much any time we get to leave, it's kind of just choose your bunk after that.
Did you prefer this one, did you?
I had it last time. There was a guy in there, but he's gone now.
Did he like die? Did he get moved? Or did he just sort of like vanish from existence?
He got taken out to stand trial, and we didn't see him come back. So
Do they execute
might-
people in Genbor?
probably, Kale says.
So, like the annex is like separated from like the rest of the prison, kinda, yeah?
I mean, it's a different building.
But like hypothetically, if you were to make like, I don't know, I'm just thinking about, ways I would improve the flow of this place. And I think having separate buildings makes it, not flow very well. Would you create a corridor that joined this building up with the other door, the other corridor, so that it didn't wasn't all by itself? I just think it'd be a nicer workflow for the guards, not having to trek through the yard.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but I also think maybe whoever built it disagrees with you and maybe made choices after the building of the prison. Maybe there was a remodel.
Wait, so is he saying that it used to be joined up, or that someone has joined it up afterwards?
That is what he's trying to say, that it used to be connected. I'm not good at weird
That's okay. Interesting. But after we go out on our work assignment to hoo-ha some rocks, you could totally have this bunk if you would prefer it. I don't really know what to do with the draftiness.
Did you have a friend? Did you have a friend come through here before?
Yeah, I did have a friend.
And he's on the other side?
Yeah. The other side of the prison.
Side.
Wonder if he could bring us anything.
Possibly. What do we need?
You tell me. Thauma's the brains of the operation.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not me.
If Thauma hears that, they definitely laugh.
You know what? I'll think about it. I'll think about what to tell them next time I see them.
At this point, we need something getting out more than getting in.
Thauma, what's your plan?
Don't have one yet. Need to get a letter out.
Well, I mean, there's always Johnny.
Does Johnny have paper? I kind of don't have anything but a bag of forks.
I mean, we got scraps of paper and bits and pieces around here. And you see his tentacle appear in the window, and a scrap of paper kind of drifts in. It's got writing on one side.
I reach out and grab it.
One side. What?
What's written on it?
It looks like it's a bunch of just inappropriate jokes, insults, and then also details for plans to trade things. But they've all been crossed off.
What are the chances my kleptical has stolen a writing utensil and stuffed it in the clamshell?
Like a quill or something.
Roll a D100. It's not going to be 90 this time, though.
I mean, pens and stuff can be shiny, so...
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
15.
15?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Got anything to write with?
Usually I just like,
Other than blood?
I mean, that's a big one.
Requires going to the surface.
Only to make it
Don't think our friend-
invisible.
I'm gonna go,
Our
hey,
friend.
you can make a little bit of ink and just use like a bit of glass shell or something to scratch something down.
Dude, yeah, you have ink.
Would my ink work on paper, though?
Yeah. And
I'm
at that
gonna
point,
ink myself.
at that point, Kale's like, God, I was wondering if you were gonna figure it out. What kind of fucking Ursulani are you?
I don't like to ink myself, thank you.
Desperate times, man.
So, I guess with my broken fork, I'm gonna ink.
What are you writing?
I mean, the biggest thing we need is for a certain room to no longer work.
Yeah, but they know that.
Hmm.
They know about the control. I know that we told them, as Jack told us, or told me about the control room when we were here before. Maybe just something real short in annex. Tunnel connects lock up to cells. Like underground tunnel.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to write this note. Soon after it is lunchtime, and it's a similar process. People come in, bring food, pass it out.
Is Brand with them?
You do see Brand with them. He's not headed, it doesn't look like he's headed straight for your cell, but he is coming down your hallway.
I'm just gonna like creepily smile. Well, not intentionally creepily, but it's gonna come across that way probably. Just gonna like try to make eye contact and smile at him as he's like trying to do his job.
He doesn't see you before dropping off food, but then as he's like coming back, he kind of like, hey.
I'm gonna give him a wink. How's it going?
It's great. Living the dream. What about you?
Looking forward to being able to, stretch my tail tomorrow when we go break some rocks.
Oh, that sounds like a blast.
Could be a blast.
So fun. I prefer laundry duty myself.
Apparently we here don't do laundry in the annex. Which,
No, you don't
sucks
really
because,
do
like,
anything.
I would like to wash my bedding. It smells a little bit rank, not gonna lie. And if I could, like,
Well, I think that's
wash
what
it.
they're doing tomorrow.
Oh,
It's like the monthly laundry day.
Jeez. Alright. Guess I have to
We
wait
have high
till
accommodations here.
tomorrow for fresh sheets.
I mean, I wouldn't use the word fresh. Fresher.
How's life out in the regular, out in Gen Pop?
Can't complain. Well, I can, but it doesn't make anything better.
Yeah. Any news? Any expecting any visitors?
Yeah, the guards keep getting new shit. I think they're taking our stuff.
I was promised our stuff would all be kept safe. Hope they haven't taken my calligraphy set. Rude.
Calligraphy set?
Yeah, I like to.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they took it.
Well, now I'm just frustrated. Alright.
Grumpled Leo.
Does it have had green flowers on it?
Yeah, it had like a really nice little notepad set and like a really nice quill.
Yeah. Definitely saw them using that.
Is there any
Was there,
place
like,
in Genbor that's not bloody corrupt?
No. Did you have a weird clock thing too?
Yeah, I do. It goes like tick, 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 tick.
Yeah. Yeah, I know where that is.
It's one of the guards got it.
Yeah.
We're gonna sue their asses off for theft when we get out.
Wait,
Good
what if one of the
luck.
does that mean that one of the guards could have the mud bricks? Because that wasn't.
I'm gonna say, you haven't seen any of them just walking around with a lump of clay by any chance? Maybe they're using it as a paperweight somewhere? I don't know.
No, but I haven't really looked. What's it look like? What's
I'm
it?
gonna say it's about yay big. It just looks like a ball of clay. I reckon actually they probably wouldn't have taken it out of the box. I'm gonna sort of whisper. Do you know Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny.
Can you ask him if he's seen a ball of clay anywhere, and if so, to try and bring it up to us?
Yeah, I can try.
Cool. It's nothing fancy, it's just some clay.
Is it more gargoyle flesh?
No, I just, I like to, use my hands. Like to work with my hands.
First you're meat, now you're.
And then a guard comes up and says, "All right, it's time to go. Let's go." And kind of ushers him away, and he kind of gives you a nod.
I'm gonna sort of give a nod back. Okay. I'll sort of say to myself, I think that was a productive conversation.
Cutting back to Elomi.
Yes.
Your day is spent taking notes, listening to various things. You kind of go to different parts. Most of your day is spent in the Court of Gen. You went to the District of Farm and Industry. There's a couple other places you went. And then over lunch, you are taken back to the Court of Gen, and there's a very fine dining hall where Brythrad and a couple of the guards, not Way, he is not eating there because these are that sort of higher ranking people, are just eating a nice lunch. So yeah, you're eating lunch. Brythrad is reading a book, taking notes. Are you doing anything during lunch? Are you
Trying to think if there's anything further that I can scheme up right now without being incredibly obvious in front of a mess hall full of officers.
Are you gonna read it all?
I'm gonna read more Fendon operational,
Okay.
actually. I feel like that's a normal enough thing.
Okay.
Well, you've got an
I want to
alibi
read about.
you're going there,
Yep.
so
I'm gonna read about the control room specifically right now.
Okay. The chapter on the control room has some like schematics of I'm gonna put the no, I'm not. I'm gonna put the blueprint back up so the other players should probably not look, but at Owlbear, but I'm not gonna cut your toes off if you do. So yeah, it has some like schematics of how the control crystal like sits, and it has some like loose explanation of the magic that controls it, and it talks mostly about like the upkeep of the control crystal, and like ways to be very careful so as not to damage it. And it also talks about how it should be guarded very closely. And then it gives like suggestions for guard schedules. And in those schedules, you will notice that there are occasional like an hour where it's unguarded.
Oh. Huh.
Usually, like in the first thing in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then like sometimes at night, it could be unguarded for an hour.
Did the crystal itself, just by the instructions of how to be careful with it, did it seem fragile?
The crystal itself isn't necessarily fragile. The mechanism that it is attached to that sends the control out to other sections of the prison is fairly fragile.
Oh.
It also says to take care not to let it get too hot.
Don't let it get too hot.
The mechanism, not the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
blow the circuit.
Elomi's taking mental notes because physical notes would be very not good for their continued friend's health.
You're served a very fine dinner of like exotic, or no, sorry, not dinner, lunch, of exotic fish. Like you're somewhat used to fairly exotic food, not like quite this fancy. Like a nice side of vegetables. There's definitely some crab. You don't have to eat it.
If it's like chopped up like in crab dip, like I can't see the parts of it, then Elomi will partake. However, if you can see like the structure, if that makes sense, Elomi will not.
Crab legs or something.
No, it's more like a what?
Like crab legs or something Elomi won't eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels disrespectful.
No, it's more of like a dip, yeah. For the vegetables.
Yep, that's fine. I mean, crabs eat their own kind too, but like.
So as you're eating, Brightthroat will say, what do you want to take care of next?
Um.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, about how late into the evening are we doing duties, I guess?
Well, I do have to meet with the king this evening for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So after dinner, you'll probably be free to study.
Okay. And you said that there was like an hour break in the early morning and in the late evening for the control room? DM Amber.
Yeah. He's like, wait, what? No. Yeah, so it's usually that they say that like the best time to leave it unattended is first thing in the morning, because there's just not a lot going on, and then it does like outline ways to leave it unattended, and not like fully unattended. You know, there should always be someone nearby. You just don't need people in the room with it during like times of night, and then first thing in the morning.
Okay. Would it be earlier than Brightred woke Elomi up this morning?
Yes.
Wondering how to go about this.
So
Well,
I'll
I
let
need to-
you.
Sorry. That note that Thauma, I guess Thauma didn't send it out just yet, or
You've
make it
had
out?
no communication with them.
I'm just wondering if I have to physically be at the prison or if it'll get delivered to me.
You don't know anything about a note. Stop metagaming.
Yeah, you're right. I need to get word to them that I'm gonna try to fuck up the control line so that it leaves the labor area unattended. Magic. At the very least. If I can get it off of the whole prison, I think that there'd be enough chaos.
And as you think this aloud, your plans are revealed. I'm just kidding. Do you have any more questions for Braithrad or any more conversation you want to have during lunch?
Have you ever thought about putting like legislation in place, Brythred, for like, I don't know, like labor and trade so that these repetitive visits are less necessary?
Yes.
Is there any reason why that isn't the case right now?
Because it takes a long time to change things. Also, they keep rebelling against the rules that are in place to help them.
I see.
I just feel like you haven't read enough books yet for that question.
Forgive me. Perhaps I'm still a little naive about this.
He kind of like gives a little chuckle.
I want to punch him.
It was supposed to not be a smarmy chuckle. It was supposed to be like a, yeah, I don't know.
It still feels like being handled as a child, but you know what? That's fine.
Make an insight check.
No, not another 7. No, it's a 6.
Cool. He's got a lot on his mind.
For sure.
What?
For sure.
So for the rest of the afternoon, you will go around kind of taking care of more tasks. Shortly after lunch, Wei is like kind of lets you know like that he's going to be departing. His shift is ending. So if you have any more questions or conversation for him, he will be leaving soon.
Would it be possible to deliver a note to my friends in the annex?
Yeah? Like, easy peasy. Urchin squeezy. I know that would be
Excellent.
painful. What you got?
One moment, and Elomi's going to scribble on a sheet of paper from the notebook. Hope to see you soon. Hopefully I can share the load so your labor is lighter tomorrow.
I'm just writing it down.
Yeah.
Real,
And
yeah.
then draw a little crystal icon and like some other doodles to sort of make that not the only strange shape on there.
Mm-hmm. You hand it to him and he immediately reads it.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not gonna like give him instructions or anything?
I mean, there's nothing else that they can do other than wait right now.
Okay.
But so long as I can let them know if I can be visiting, a good time of day.
He takes a paper and gives you a nod and leaves.
Awesome.
After dinner, or when it's time for dinner, you will be led to the library again, and dinner will be brought to you there.
Oh, excellent.
So you can study some more. Cutting back to make another intelligence saving throw to avoid boredom.
That's an 18 plus 2. So
Damn.
that's a 20.
Yeah, you managed to get more studying done and like actually do some reading.
I'm a nerd!
So was it Brythard that you gave the note
Brightthread.
to? Brythred, sorry.
Oh, it was
No.
Way.
Waylon.
Wait,
Way.
okay.
So back in the annex, it is dinner time, and you don't see Brand this time.
Oh, okay.
The food is like, it's slightly nicer. It's like cooked vegetables. They're a little mushy and burnt, but it's not mush. It's not like
Mushy
ugly.
and burnt.
Yeah.
Sounds like my mother's cooking.
Impressive combination.
Burnt.
So you have to fuck up in
but,
multiple ways to achieve that.
I know.
Leo, as you're eating, you bite into a vegetable and like it's really hard and like hurts your tooth.
Okay, so I pull out my snout and then I sort of like reach my fingers in. I'm guessing it's the lump of clay.
It is not the lump of clay.
Oh.
It is the Clockwork Amulet.
Huh.
Oh.
Cool. I'm going to sort of like tuck it into my clothes and sort of like hide it. And be like, nice.
Sun, make a perception check.
think it's 13. Yeah, 13.
When the guard is doing the like pass by shortly after dinner, you see a crumpled piece of parchment drifting down through your window.
Nonchalantly grab it when the guard is passed.
It's the note from Elomi.
Do I understand what they're saying?
See, what does it say? Hope
Do
to
I
see you
pick up on it?
soon. Hopefully I can share the load so your labor is lighter tomorrow. Make some kind of check to determine if you're able to figure out which of these doodles is important. Let's do like intelligence or wisdom. Probably wisdom.
You can't be my intelligence?
I'm feeling nice. It'll be your intelligence.
I'm not very wise. 16.
Oh, no one in this party is.
16.
Oh, wise. Leo's very wise. They're just not super smart.
Ah, I see. I just meant that we get into some harebrained situations sometimes, but that might just be my own creation.
Did you say it was a 16?
Yeah.
The doodle of the like a crystal structure like thing is there's a little bit more attention to detail in it, and also you're like, this looks kind of like some magical stuff I've seen before, so like maybe this is a magical crystal that they've drawn. That's about all you can get.
I'll wait until like the guard passing slows down to the longer time
nighttime?
frame. Yeah.
Okay. So it's nighttime now.
Then I will tell Leo that Elomi sent on a note, and I think they're gonna try to break into the control room tomorrow.
Oh, that will give us an opportunity. It said something about labor, yeah, so that means we'll probably be busting some rocks. I'm gonna sort of like get out the Clockwork Amulet and just sort of like hold it up and go, I also this, and then hide it away again.
I also this.
How did you get it back?
I asked Brand for a favor. I mean, I specifically asked for like a lump of clay, but this helps. Basically, I can use it once a day to make a check a 10, like base, instead of rolling a dice. So maybe we'll get some clay for some artistic endeavors later on, but this isn't not helpful.
Guess all we can do is wait for tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm going to make sure that, you know what, I'm not going to sleep on the bed. I'm actually going to sleep on the floor just in case someone wants to come up through the tunnel during the night.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is a 14.
14. Okay. You turn in for bed, and you get your really cozy sleep on the ground. You are awakened by loud, like, clanging. You're both awakened by loud clanging and just like, get up, time to go, get up, time to go. It is very early in the morning. And Leo, you see tucked under the blanket of your bed is a bag.
Oh shit. Okay. I wait to make sure that there's no one going past, no guards, and I'm gonna quickly look to see what's in the bag.
Okay, it is your calligraphy set is in there.
Aww.
Your lumps of clay are in there. I just have to keep looking at people's inventories over and over again. There's also a small knife you don't recognize. And a small little box that you recognize as that you've seen Thauma use occasionally. Just like tools, small little box of tools. It's thieves' tools.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's gonna be it.
How much of it can I feasibly hide on my person? The calligraphy set might be a bit much, but I'm thinking I can possibly hide the thieves' tools, the clay, the daggers,
I mean,
the knife.
you're pretty soft and squishy. You could probably find spots to.
I lift up my belly and tuck the thieves' tools under it, and then flop my belly back over it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I figure they're really, really key. I'm going to put the lumps of clay inside my skull and put it back on my head. And then I'm gonna see can I get Tauma's attention?
There's kind of a lot of noise, but
And is there guards still in the middle?
There's a lot of hustle and bustle.
Okay, I'm just gonna wait then until I can possibly get closer to Thauma.
We're gonna pause there and jump over to Elomi.
Dang
it. All right.
So did you studied and then you were eventually escorted back to bed?
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing next?
Is there any way that I can leave my bedroom without being noticed?
You can make a stealth check.
17 and 4, which makes 21.
Yes.
So this time I'm going to
the guard, there's only one guard just like in the hallway, and he has fallen asleep.
Awesome. Quietly as I can, I'm going to take the little knapsack that I bound together.
The knapsack mean the bag that it was already there, or like the blanket that's all tied up into a bag?
Let's take both. You know what? I think that I can like bury the bag in some stands nearby and just take the small one in with me.
Okay. You're a little bit encumbered with that, but you rolled really high on stealth, so you could probably make it out down the hall.
Awesome. I'm going to make my way over to... I'm going to go make my way over to Fendon.
Okay.
And along the way, I'm going to... just outside of the labor block, I'm going to bury the bag with the staff.
Are you doing this in like the wee hours of the morning? Are you doing this like in the middle of the night?
Like
When are you
middle of
doing
the night.
the middle of the night? Okay. So like before you get your long rest then?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you successfully bury the bag outside of the labor area.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm gonna go around to the entrance and see if I can charm my way inside as the now current understudy to the leader of the military. I want to study your nightly operations.
Make a persuasion check.
Sounds like a really bad pickup line.
17.
17. The person, the night guard is kind of like, what the fuck? What? Oh. Go for it. Whatever.
All right. Do they need to take my small bag, or are they just gonna let me take that shit in?
What are you wearing?
I imagine I'm still wearing the blue uniform from earlier.
Then they are not going to take your bag.
Swag. Excellent. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna walk down confidently. I know the general layout of this place. Absolutely. Uh, you know what? There's no one to perform around this time. There's no need to bury the lead. Let's go straight to the control room and see who's there.
Okay. One second.
Ooh.
So this is the wrong tool. In this room, which the party has been in before, there is one guy asleep at one of the desks and another guy just like doodling at the other one. And as you enter, the one that's awake just kind of looks up.
I give a little nod and walk in the direction of the control room.
He says, "Hey, what you doing?"
Oh, since I'm studying to take over my brother's position, I thought that I'd take a look at the nightly rounds around here, and I thought I'd start with the control room.
Who the hell are you?
Arlomia?
Never heard of you.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I'm third in line for the throne. I'm the younger sibling of Brythred and Thauma.
What? No.
Look,
The
I
king
can't
has
help it if
2 children.
I can't help it if you don't know what you don't know, then that's fine. But not my ass. They're gonna come after you if you get in the way of a royalty of a member of royalty trying to go about their business.
Make a persuasion check.
14 plus 4, 18.
Okay. He looks at you like super confused and is like, "You're definitely not part of the royal family. I don't know why you'd bother lying about that. But clearly you work for them, so whatever. Just don't break anything."
Elomi's gonna give a shrug and a nod and go through the door.
Inside. Oh, I can delete the font. 1 second. I did this earlier. I practiced. It's this button. And then it's this button. Ha!
Oh, excellent.
I practiced. Yeah, so it's a room with just a giant crystal in the middle. It's like this like turquoise, and then there's kind of like stones built into the floor going out from it that are also glowing. And there are 3 people sort of milling about.
Okay.
And they just look up as you come in, and they're just like, "Can I help you?"
Hello, Arlomia. I'm currently studying to take over my brother Brythred's position.
That's not funny.
It's not a joke.
Side note, Elomi would be aware that people don't know who they are.
I know.
Okay.
I think that it would be way easier to slip away if I also cause some confusion, like, wait, there's a third member? There's a third
Okay.
one?
Cool. Just making sure it was intentional.
Part of my grand plan.
Okay. So yeah, they just kind of are like, can I help? What are you doing?
Oh, I wanted to see how the operations worked here. I wanted to see if there was anything that I could do to improve it, improve workflow. Is there anything that you're unsatisfied with doing this job? Is there anything that I can, help negotiate with for benefits even? Are you settled for retirement? Do you have dental?
Do you have a union rep?
Do you have a union rep, or is it just sort of like at will here?
I mean, I'm a little unsatisfied with the concept of having a workplace inspection at 1 a.m.
Oh, no, I'm just here to. This isn't an inspection. This is me studying.
It's 1 a.m.
Scholarship waits for no one.
One of the other like wizard guys in the room is like, "Yeah."
He gets it.
Oh, shut up. I mean, I would probably like to be taken off the night shift if I'm being honest.
Oh, absolutely. How many people are. What's the minimum that's required to be on duty during the night shift, just so that I can write this down?
Minimum of 2.
Minimum of 2. Oh, if there's 3 here, then you could probably go home and get rescheduled for another time.
It's the middle of my shift.
I don't mean that you'd be losing out on the rest of those hours. I mean that, like, you could drop it here and pick up someone else's shift later.
Did you talk to William?
No, but
I feel like William wouldn't be too happy if I left early. Plus, I gotta finish cleaning the North Wing stones.
The North Wing stones?
Yeah, the stones that send the shit to the north.
Why don't I help you clean them? Yeah. Why don't I learn how to do everyone's jobs here so that I can help accommodate you easier? Which ones are they? And do you have a spare mop, or do you just sort of go in there with a rag, or?
He grabs some rags, and it's like this part of the like little plus thingy, and he just looks at you like, what the fuck is going on? Because it is the middle of the night. But he goes in and is like with a rag and just very gently cleaning, around all of the glowing stones. And he gestures towards some more rags.
Okay. Elomi's going to put down their bag and grab 2 rags, actually. They're going to go 2-handed at this and start cleaning the stones. And surreptitiously trying to see if they can pull them out of place without being noticed.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. I have a +3 in that. That should be fine. Please be kind. Please be kind. 16?
Not terrible.
You're not able to do a whole lot because he keeps like looking over at you. But you do determine that the stones are pretty like set in the ground. Maybe I could pry that one out if I had like a crowbar or something.
I'm thinking like concrete mosaics.
Kinda, yeah.
Did you put the crowbar in your bag that you have with you?
I do have a hammer in my bag.
And then after a while, one of the other guys is like, "All right, it's time to call it a night. Other boys will be in soon. So let's pack them out."
Okay. I can finish this up and you guys can go ahead without me. I'll see the new change of guard and I'll ask them the same questions as you. Is there anything else about benefits or just general quality of working here?
No, you gotta go. They're not gonna be here for like an hour.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
So then they kind of
I will allow myself to be shooed out of the door.
Okay.
And then I will ask very quickly, is there a restroom nearby? I had a bit much coffee.
No wonder you're awake this hour. And they gesture out the door that you came in. There's a restroom.
Excellent. Elomi's going to duck in there and wait for them to just leave the building.
Okay. They leave pretty quickly. It only takes them a couple minutes because they want to go home and sleep.
Excellent. Elomi's going to come right back out and up to the door. Try it a little bit.
The door?
Oh, sorry. I just noticed the map. The guys are still at desks. I didn't mean to move that icon. Sorry.
That's fine. So one of the guys is still asleep. The other one is like not. He's like got his head in what he's doing.
And I'm going to try to very quietly
slip past.
Yeah, very quietly slip past and slip in the door.
All right, roll stealth.
Lots writing on this, Elomi. You can do it. You can do it.
Nope.
No.
He looks up and, excuse me? Did you leave something in there?
Oh, yes, I left my bag in there, actually. I was shooed out so quickly that I wasn't able to go back and get it.
Make a deception check.
I actually did leave the bag in there. 14 plus 4 is 18.
All right, he says, okay, be fast.
Will do. And Lomi's gonna swish in there and... Alright. Is there any way to, like, bolt the door from this side?
Sure, why not?
Gonna, as quietly as I can, bolt the door and then dash for the hammer. I'm just gonna start whacking at the north end stones because I'm pretty sure that the labor end was on the north end.
You're just gonna, like, go for it?
Well, I just need to double check. Is the labor block was on the north side, right?
Let me double check.
Or is it oriented like this map, where it would be in the east?
Hold on. It's part of the North Wing.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start whacking on the north stones.
Okay, you bring the hammer down and it is loud. There is a loud, like, clang.
Is the stone budging at all?
That one strike maybe chipped the concrete right around it, but it was very loud.
Hmm. Do I have anything fire-based with me? No.
You should have a tinderbox.
A tinderbox? The hell could
Yeah, basic adventuring kits come with
Oh,
tinderboxes.
there are books in here. Elomi's having a moment here and decides, fuck it, and just goes for the bookshelves and starts throwing the books onto the stones.
Okay, make an intelligence check.
An intelligence check. 13 plus 2 is 15.
Okay. The part in the book that talked about being susceptible to heat is going to be the metal inlay around the main crystal, which does connect to each of the 4 branches of stones in the floor.
Okay. Then let's pile up the books there.
Okay, on just the one for the North Wing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to, like, pile up these books.
I'm going to set the tinderbox and sort of look away and hope for the best.
Okay, so the way this underwater tinderbox works is 2 stones that you like crash into each other, and which then activates one of them to get very, very, very hot, and so you're able to then set the stone onto the books, which start smoldering. It's underwater, so it's not like fire, but they do start like smoldering and getting hot. Are you sticking around? What's your plan next?
No, I'm going to I'm going to quickly leave the scene before the smoke gets noticed.
Okay. Yeah, so you slip out. Do you shut the door behind you?
Yes, I do shut the door behind me.
Okay. You slip out and, are you just like just leaving? Getting out of there?
Oh, I'm going to say very quick, like, I'm sorry for the huge noise. I dropped one of my calligraphy sets. I have had way too much coffee. I'm way too jittery. I need to go and swim this off. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
And on that note, I think we should call it.
I can't believe
Plans are in motion.
That plan actually worked. It worked.
Our plans never work.
My B plan was being put in lockup, and then I could have the bag smuggled to you guys. Because I'm sure that starting a fire is a no-no in a prison.
I don't know. Probably. Okay. So yeah, we will figure out how this goes next time.
Hey.
I rolled my chronic illness point. I have a fatigue point for the next day.
Oh no.
And it's disadvantage on spell attacks.
No!
Of all days.
That sucks. Dude, fuck chronic fatigue.
Right?
Oh my god. Alright, well, we'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.